No, we know that you'll be here on the 14th for business, but right now it's to have some fun. We understand that you're on the way to Shanghai for some other meet that you will win. What people in New York here wants to know is, how have you been the season thus far? We have seen you on the track, you've been doing pretty well. How do you feel about this year, Shelly-Ann Fraser?
Okay, well, so far it's good. You know, one day World Indoor Championship was a big plus for me because it was my first time participating at the Indoor Championship, and it was really a good championship. The experience was good and I loved it. And taking it to the outdoors, I started my outdoor season at the Jamaica National Invitational, and it was very good. I ran the 200 and I did very well. I ran 22.53, which was a very good time for me, seeing that I was absent. The last time I ran was in March. So far the season has started well. And one of the priorities for this year is running more 200 because I really want to break that 22-second barrier. So that is the target for me for this year, and of course participating at the Commonwealth Games.
Of course, what is on many people's mind, apart from you being here in June, is prior to that, is whether or not you'll be taking part in the World Relays in Bahamas.
Yes, I will be taking part in the World Relays.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, give a round of applause for that. All right.
Yes, I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. You know, relays are always something that's very exciting. No matter what, the individual events are there, but a relay is just everybody's effort in one. And I think it's always good to try and see as a country to put a solid team together, because we have a lot of ladies that are running very well. So it would be interesting to see, you know, the team that we can put together, to see the times that we can get. And it's also a very good practice as well, because we don't get a lot of meets to practice where all the athletes are there, healthy and ready. So I'm hoping that this World Relay can definitely see us bringing together, you know, 4 fantastic girls to run a superb relay and see where we are and leading into the World Championship next year and the Olympics the year after.
Possible world record too, right?
Yeah, God's willing, yes.
you just mentioned something there just now that we have to remark and share with you that in all your interviews you've always inserted God.
Thank you. Well, I mean, for me, it's important to understand where my strength and my faith and everything comes from. You know, it's good that we are able to run, but we also have to acknowledge the Creator that gave us the talent in the first place for us to do the things that we do. And there are a lot of persons that we inspire, no matter, you know, if we're winning or we're coming second or third or whatever. We have persons who are paying attention and who would love to be inspired by what we do. And I think that is where I get all my energy from, because seeing and hearing those persons tell you that, oh, you know, I'm a big fan, I enjoy watching you, it's something that, you know, for me, it's second to none.
You know, Shelly-Ann, your effervescent smile is always present. When are you ever angry or sad? Are you ever angry or sad?
Yes, of course, I always get angry. But for me, I think smiling is a way to help me to relax as well, and to understand that, you know, for you to do the best you can do and to execute a very good race, you have to be relaxed. And it's almost, for me, it's a joy and it's a passion to stand and to compete against female athletes now that are doing very well, because, you know, it's not just one female, there are lots of female athletes across the world that are doing very well. So to be able to line up with all of these ladies and to compete and to be healthy and to enjoy track and field right now, it's an honor. So it's something to smile about and to be happy about. It's not something that's forced. I'm not forcing myself to run. I love running, so it's something to smile about.
You know, I can't, you know, make you leave here without not mentioning and big up all the Wolverines, because that would kill me.
You're a good man. You're a very good man.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Shelly-Ann Fraser, I'm a good man. This year, of course, Wolmer celebrates 285 years. There are many Wolverines here in the diaspora who, as you know, have been very important in your life. and have played a critical role. What do you say to them at this point, Shelly-Ann Fraser?
I would definitely tell them that as Woodmarian, we are a pedigree. We are a group of individuals that have been fortunate to have the best education, the best people, I think, went to Woodmarian. And I was privileged, you know, to attend the Woodman's Girls' School and met persons who I think carved, you know, the person who I am and left an imprint that would last a lifetime. Because when there was a young lady by the name of Miss Jean Coke, who was part of the Woodman's Old Girls Association, who just for some strange reason, that this is somebody who is in first, second form, she knows nothing about, but took a liking to me, of course. And just her love and her patience and, you know, the compassion that she showed me throughout my years at Woodman's have definitely been the reason why, you know, I love children and I love them, because she believed in me even before I knew who I was and what I wanted to do. And that's because she saw it before I did, and it was just an honor to have met her. And it was sad when she passed away, because right now, you know, she would have seen what she already saw in me years ago, and I would love to have lived the moment with her, but she's not here. But to all the Woodmarians who are out there, you know, continue to support your alma mater, no matter in what way, whether it's by going back to give back, whether it's, you know, to volunteer in something, always lend a hand, because you never know which student you touch, because a lot of them would need the support. It doesn't have to be monetary, it can just be just your presence, your speech, your something that you'll be able to see. When I left Woodman's or when I was at Woodman's, I heard a young lady speak. I heard somebody say do or say or give something that changed my life forever. So it's a privilege to be a part of such an institution that celebrate our 285th anniversary this year, and I'm also honored to be on the patron as well, and looking forward to a better Woodman's and a growth of the school in all the areas.
You know, you're a tremendous ambassador, and based on what you said just now, I'm quite certain the audience here is a packed room here agrees with me. If you agree with me, let her feel it. Let her feel it. You are an ambassador for UNESCO. You are a role model. You are an ambassador for Grace Digicel. All those roles, Shelly-Ann Fraser. How do you feel recognizing that a young miss coming from humble beginnings, having the world, I can't say at your feet because you run me late there, but having the world recognizing you and have to listen to you?
You know, for me, I take things in stride. You know, gone are the days when I thought, you know, boy, I don't know what life would be. You know, I tell persons all the time, and I was one of the persons who would never stand up in a class and speak because I was very shy. I'm still shy, but, you know, I love to talk, so that's gotten over. So, of course, being able to be an ambassador for all these companies, Grace Kennedy, Nike, UNICEF, and everybody, it's just a privilege for me to lend my image, my voice to things that are affecting of my country. And I have the privilege of having the best of both worlds. You know, I'm from an inner city, and I understand completely what poverty is. I understand completely what it means to be educated, and know that I'm a professional athlete, and I've, you know, passed through all of that, got my degree, and now here I can then stand in front of any crowd of student athletes or students overall and say to them that whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, it is possible no matter where you're from, no matter what society tells you, it doesn't happen, it's possible. So that's one of the reasons why I love working with these companies, because it gives me the privilege to share my experience so that somebody, no matter if it is 1, 2 persons, can be inspired by it.
You know, I mean, I couldn't have said it. We're inspired. You know, they call you they don't call you the pocket rocket for No other reason than the fact that you just mentioned. It's your dignity, your humility. I'm gonna ask Mr. John Melbourne to ask a question. He wants to go back on the track. So John, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Irwine, and once again, Shelly-Ann, welcome to the New York airwaves. Question for you is, if this, I am not really a fan of indoors, but if this were an Olympic year or World Championship year, would you have run the indoors, and why?
Yeah, I think I would, because I didn't go to college overseas, of course, so I've never had the experience of doing the indoors. But I think it's something that I wanted, and it helps to perfect your 60 meters. Because most persons would think that, your first 60, if you can cover the first 60 as fast as you can, then you're relying on just maintaining for the next 40-meter lifting. So it would definitely help leading into an Olympic. So yes, I think I would. But at the same time, I don't think it's a decision that would be based on just how I feel and what I think. It would also be a decision based on the coach. So I've always been one of those persons who rely heavily on what my coach says. What's the plan for the year? What can be done? What looks possible? So, I think I would personally attempt the indoors and also an Olympic in the same year, and I think it was very good. It was a very good experience for me, especially the first experience.
Of course, we're looking forward to seeing you on June 14th. What can we expect? Apart from the obvious. But we can have an answer, but you tell us.
What can you expect? Well, as I said, this year, I said I wanted to do a lot more 200, and I will be participating in I think it's a 100 meter at this meet, and I'm looking forward to getting in some solid time and just to look at the competition, because I think that would be my second 100 for the year and probably my only 100 for the year after that. So I really want to come to New York and just, give it a good race, because I love participating in your last year or the year before. I actually won there in a very good time, and it has a very good crowd of Jamaicans who would love to see our athletes participate. So the excitement is always there, so looking forward to that.
And what can we expect the color here to be?
Right now I'm blonde. Right now I'm blonde. So I have no idea. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the girl with the full hair. I mean, my hair color depends on my mood and how I feel. And I like to express myself with my hair, because I love hair and I love colors. So who knows? That's surprising, guys.
Let me ask this now. We heard from Johan earlier on, and of course, he was off for a year and he just can't wait to get out of the cage, as he said. But he used the year to do a lot of reflection and do some work, and of course a lot of humanitarian work. The question comes about elite athletes like yourselves and how you position yourselves to give back and the things you're involved in. Do you have a foundation?
Yes, I actually have a foundation that was launched last year when I came back from the World Championship. My foundation is the Pocket Rocket Foundation, and what my foundation is geared towards is student athletes, whether you're doing track and field, whether you're doing football, cricket, whatever sport, because I believe in the power of sport and I believe in the power of education. I believe when athletes are able to link both, they are able to transform themselves, and not only themselves but the world at large, because what they will understand is, if you're going to tell me that it's difficult to go to school and to do a sport, I can tell you I did it. I was a professional athlete. I am a professional athlete, and I went through my 4 years of university and I got a degree with second-class honors. So it's not impossible. So what I say to them is, what I will do for you is to make sure that your books are taken care of. You don't have to worry about going to school and a hungry stomach. You don't have to worry about where your mother is going to get the school fee from, the uniform. I will take care of all of that. I am giving you the opportunity and the chance to make sure that when you leave school, you would have left it better than you started.
Shelly-Ann Fraser, I know that we're pressed for time and we're barging on your rest time. You're on your way to Shanghai. What race will you be competing in there?
I will be competing in the 200, of course. And I really want to get below the 22-second barrier, so I'm really working towards that. So I will see what will happen. I was out for 2 weeks on a little rest, but I think I should recover by now. So I'm just looking forward to the competition. And I think it's taking it a day at a time, a race at a time as well. Because a lot of times we get out there, we feel good and we're ready to run and to get the excitement, and sometimes things don't happen the way we want it to. But right now I'm putting my best foot forward in everything and just trusting God to give me the strength to do the things that I know I can do. Because training has been fantastic, coming in this year. So I'm just looking forward to having fun this year.
I noticed in the last 2 races there's a young miss, Blessings from wherever,
yeah.
And she's been and she's been dipping way before the finish line. How's that competition between yourself and her? In your race, the confidence you exude is that you're focused. You never look right or left. You're focused.
Yeah.
How is the competition between yourself and her?
This is a very good athlete. If you notice that she's very strong at the last part of her race, so that's her strength. But I mean, for me as an athlete, I try not to, because sometimes when we focus on a particular athlete, we tend to lose ourselves in trying to, make sure that that person, doesn't, get in front of them when there are so many other athletes that want to do well. So for me, I focus on the fact that I'm a very good starter and I'm also a good finisher, because I've been doing a lot of 200s that definitely helps my 100. So for me, when I line up with Blessing, I know she's going to be a very strong finish. So it's even more for me to make sure that I have my start down, because that's my strong area. So that's the thing I work at. So I try not to focus on my weakness at all, or anything or any competitor. But she's indeed a very good competitor. When she lines up, you can always count on her to give you that closing speed. So it's very good though for me to have female athletes who are doing very well and are competing, because when you have the best of the best competing, it makes you better as an athlete, and it also shows you where you're weak and where you need to improve on. So it's a plus for me.
Let me ask you this: as far as the young misses who are aspiring to be the next Shelly-Ann Fraser, the athletes that will be the next generation, who are some of the athletes Shelly-Ann Fraser looks at as being, the top athletes coming out of Jamaica?
Well, there are a lot of athletes, I must say. I train with a couple of them, of course. So, they're always on my heels, kicking. So I'm aware of athletes, young athletes that I have. We have Cairo, who last year ran 10.9. So that's a 10.98, so that's a very, big plus for her. And we have, Natasha Morrison, we have Elaine Thompson. And I think also in the high school level, you have a Christiana Williams leaving high school, you have a Monique Spence, you have a lot of athletes that are going to be leaving school to transition into senior athletes. So I definitely think that Jamaica has a group of young ladies that will strike when their time comes, and I really hope they continue to just work hard and also have patience, because a lot of them will want to rush things because they want to get there. But you just want them to take it in stride and to work hard. And for me, my biggest thing is just being humble and confident in yourself. I don't think you need to, behave a certain way to prove anything. You just need to show it on the track and just let it speak for itself.
Well, Mrs. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the IRIJAM Media Group and Global Athletics to say thank you very much for the time that you've shared with us this afternoon. I'm quite certain that the packed room of media here also appreciates it, and they're going to demonstrate it right now by giving you a warm round of applause. And we just want to wish you all the best in your endeavors and good luck in the meet in Shanghai. And of course, New York. beckons you. New York will be ready for you. And we'll also be very curious about that hairstyle because, like you said, we know what mood you're in.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. One more round of applause for Shelly-Ann Fraser.